You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for Gossip Girl. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Gossip Girl news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AFTERBUZZ TV for Gossip Girl.
Hello, Gossip Girl fans. I am Roxy Striar, along with the lovely Jessica King.
Hey.
Which I heard tonight is not Jessie. No, never
Not Jessie.
Sometimes J. King.
J. King, Jess is the huge.
Jess is
a lot
the
of
huge.
people
Okay.
go the Jess route.
Or if
so.
we're on Gossip Girl, just J.
Exactly.
There we go.
Little J.
And we have the other Jessie in the booth, DJ Jessie Janity. What's up?
XOXO. What up, Gossip Girls?
Tonight, you're just like killing it with the creepiness.
I am. Oh, you should have heard me on Ringer.
I think
full-out
you
creepy.
perfected it, though.
It's because I know how to use this microphone.
And that's why you're the DJ here, Jess. Are you going to be able to help us comment on tonight's episode?
As soon as you tell me that, look, everybody out there, I apologize. I did not watch the episode.
Like,
It was a
I'm
really
so
busy,
disappointed
It was
in
a
you.
really busy night for me last night. Really busy
yeah,
day.
yeah,
And
whatever.
I had to jump in on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, so it was like...
Like, clearly not as good.
But
I
it was
mean,
a really good
it's
episode, by the way.
It is amazing. But no, Gossip Girl is my guilty pleasure, so I apologize, everybody. But as soon as I hear the storyline, obviously you know.
Yeah, you're going to be the little voice in the background going, no way. What
We're going to
happened?
spoil it for you. You're not even going to want to watch the episode.
Girl, please, I will watch it
That,
right
that's
as
not
soon as
true.
you leave.
He's like, no
That's
way.
not going to happen.
Okay, so let's jump right into it and talk a little bit about this whole situation with Dan, and it was kind of like a nothing really happened. So Dan is supposedly on a book tour, but not really. He's pretending
it.
to be, and he didn't like the book tour because he wasn't getting a lot of fans. So really, he's Skyping with his dad from Vermont,
Yeah.
but he's not actually in Vermont. He's in his bedroom at their other apartment.
Yeah, which was kind of odd from the get-go for me. You know, I kind of felt like if he was on his... I kind of clued into it right away.
Me
you
too,
know?
because they were like, where are you? And he was like, I'm in Vermont.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, why don't you know where you are?
Which is funny to me that Dan seems to be shying away from this whole book tour thing right now because of the fact that he doesn't have fans and the book is dropped and he's losing
Yeah.
friends. Because Dan is used to not being the favorite. He's used
Which
to...
is bizarre. It's bizarre. That's what I 100% agree. He's supposed to be the underdog. He's never been the one who's into fame or into being
Exactly.
a celebrity, whatever it is, and doesn't want to be on Gossip Girl. And now he's like, oh, well, I'm above that, and my
He
book
wants
was
to
a
be
top
in the
seller.
mix. Yeah.
Why isn't his book doing well? I thought it was supposed to kick butt. Is that just for this storyline because it wouldn't be good?
I don't know. I agree with you. I mean, at first it seemed like everyone was so interested in this book, and of course his friends are pissed about it, but I don't think those 5 people could drop the sales. So
Maybe just because it's not a movie
maybe there's
anymore.
more to come.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know. Rocky road for Dan, I guess.
And he kept it going even after his dad came and talked to him about it.
I
And he
didn't
said,
get that either. His dad comes and he's like, listen, don't let this get you down. Go. And Dan's like, okay, I'll go. And then we see him text him, I'm on the road.
in his bedroom again.
And his dad believed him?
Yeah, his dad just like wrapped it up like, okay, I'm proud of you, son. Peace.
I felt like they just threw Dan into this episode because they needed to have him be in it, but like there was not really
was
a
pointless.
purpose. It was pointless and completely unconnected to any other character on the show.
And it was weird how they didn't address everything that happened with the book last week with Serena and the movie and that whole thing. It's just forgotten about now. Or
The only thing that we see is a little bit of animosity from Serena towards Dan when she walks by him on iChat. But yeah, he was very removed, and it was kind of a strange thing with him. And I don't have much more to say on.
It's not a lot
on that matter.
More to say on that.
Something I do have a lot. Nowhere else to go. Something I do have a lot to say on though is this whole Nate and Diana thing going on. So they have said that they're I'm like confused face right now. So they came out to on their site that they were together, but then he was not feeling how she was kind of keeping him hidden, and then he tries to be with Charlie to try to make her jealous, but Charlie's been told by Diana not to be with him.
Well, now he really likes Charlie after the party last week when they were making out.
I couldn't tell if he was being serious or if he was just saying that. I didn't know whether to believe that or not. You think he really did?
Yeah, I think he just wants some public loving.
Yeah, he's just a little puppy dog who wants anybody to love him, and
he's so cute though.
I just don't know. I don't see it in him as much. I mean, like, yeah, he's hot, obviously. Chase Crawford's a sexy man, but
yes,
something about him's kind of pathetic to me.
It's all in the character, sweetheart.
Like, even the end with him and Diana when she's like, "We'll be equals. Now come here and sit next to me." And he's like, okay, yay.
But that's also Diana's personality. She treats everyone like that. So
that's true, but a man, this sounds a man, but a guy that gets treated like that, it's like, can't really think that much about himself, I feel like. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
So anyway, we see the situation, and then we see Charlie kiss Nate to try to avoid seeing Max.
So
yeah,
Charlie / Ivy's boyfriend just pops up out of nowhere. Remember you and I?
For a job interview.
Yeah, you and I. You were like, wait, that guy looks so familiar.
Yeah, he comes on the screen and I go, wait, this kid flirting with Serena, I feel like we know him. And you're like, I don't know.
Well, it didn't even occur to me because when you said that, I agreed. I'm like, yeah, he does look familiar, but I didn't even think like within the show.
Yeah, he just looked like a hot
thinking
guy.
like, what other shows has he been on? Like, where have I seen this guy?
Yeah, all of a sudden
and
I'm
it's
like,
Max. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, and of course, the first person he meets in New York is Serena.
Of course. Serena always just bumps into guys. Like hot guys. Like, oh.
Why can't this happen in my life?
Right? You're like, I'm just going to take a stroll down the street. Oh, I'm sorry, I bumped into you. You're so hot. Let's go out.
Not only let's go out. Oh my God, you're so hot. I bumped into you. You ask me out. Like,
yeah.
My life needs to be like that.
Yeah. And she just invites herself, like, he's going on an interview. Like, why don't I come with you? Why don't I have lunch with you? Why don't we
go on this date?
Go on a date.
Whatever it is. And he hunts her down to tell her that he has gotten a second interview.
Yes. So he doesn't even know her last name, which we find out later when Ivy or Charlie's like, Vander Woodson? And he's like, I guess. But somehow he was able to track her down at her workplace.
Well, because she says that he asks if he knows where her girlfriend is, and she says, oh, we work in the same building or something. So he knew the building she worked in. That was kind of what I was guessing, but
that went over my head.
Anyway, the two of them are supposed to go on a date to this party where they bump into Charlie, and Charlie goes to kiss Nate, but because it's in a mask, she ends up kissing Max.
Yes. So rewind a second.
Jesse, are you following any of this?
Is this making any sense at all?
No.
Okay, so basically...
Well, 1 second. I just want to bring up one thing that I wrote down because it kind of stuck with me, and I was thinking like it kind of set up the episode for me, so it made me really curious. So back to when Serena bumped into Max.
Yeah.
And they first met. Gossip Girl, her little voiceover said, sometimes you know who the bad guy is from the start, but most times you realize they've been right in front of you all along. Is that? Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, I don't even know.
She said that right when Serena and Max had decided to go to lunch. So as Max is introduced back into the picture, are we gonna find out? I mean, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah,
but,
I know. That's a really good pickup.
Is he gonna be affiliated with Diana? Did someone put him up to this? Someone brought him out to New York to hunt down Ivy? I mean,
Did
obviously,
he just end up being an asshole?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Okay, wait.
All right, girls, we have a Gossip Girl on the line with us. Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
I reckon my name is Johnson Town Downson.
XOXO.
Oh my God.
How y'all doing tonight?
Are you a big Gossip Girl fan?
I'm a huge Gossip fan down here in the South.
That's what I like to hear.
Where
Nice.
do you live?
I'm from Kentucky.
Kentucky. So what are you calling to talk about? Something interesting in this week's episode? Anything important you want to
I
say?
just like watching. I just like watching girls on the live stream. You gotta do a great job. I just want to call in and say hello.
Oh, thank you.
What did you think of tonight's episode?
What sparked your interest?
Well, I didn't watch it yet. I got it on TiVo.
Did you watch last week's episode?
I reckon I did.
So aren't you like really excited to see this week's? Because there's a lot that was setting up a lot of drama.
I think we lost our.
Oh no!
Oh, goodbye, our
Gossip
Kentucky
Girl.
friend. We miss you so much.
Yeah.
I want an accent.
Thanks
like
for
that.
calling. I always wish I could have a Southern accent.
I wish I could marry Chuck, but we can't always get what we want. So,
No.
moving on. Okay, so I just am trying to clear this up, just so Jesse can participate in our thing. So Max ends up flying from LA to New York for a job interview. He's there. He bumps into Serena, who he obviously doesn't know. She offers to walk him to the job interview, and so they like meet up. Whatever. She ends up leaving and not walking him. Confusing reasons. Later on, he goes to see her at the office to tell her that he got a second interview thanks to something she told him. And the two of them decide that they're going to go together to Chuck's party. At Chuck's party, Nate and Charlie are attending together because Diana makes Nate and Charlie go together because she has this whole scheme thing that she's setting up. And she ends up having Charlie kiss Max, who she thinks is Nate. Yeah.
And so all is
drama.
revealed.
The Masquerade is the best drama episode of the year, always.
Yes.
All is revealed. What do we think about how Max treated Charlie? Because Charlie tried to clearly get Max back outside for a second in a desperate attempt, and Max puts the kibosh on it.
I mean, she screwed him over multiple times. She dumped him, then she left, then she called him back and wanted to meet up with him, and then stood him up again. So I think that's what she deserves. It's no big secret. I don't like Charlie, so I think what she gets, she deserves.
I hated her this episode. I
Yeah.
take back anything I ever said nice about her.
I
She's
am
annoying.
happy that you are coming over.
The girl is annoying, and she like holds on to anything she can just to stay afloat, no matter what she's bringing down with her. And clearly, she doesn't care that much about Max, and it's a last desperate attempt to try to be alive.
She uses each and every person that comes in her way. Everyone.
But I still don't know if I think she's a bad person. I just think
She's a horrible person.
I think she's misguided.
No, she's awful.
Okay, maybe I agree. I don't know. What about Nate and this whole situation with Diana and finally finding out why Diana was after Nate? Because I was a little confused on that too. So we see Diana's finally on the phone with Nate's grandpa.
Yes, who he hates.
Who Nate hates.
Jesse, it ends the ending part of the episode. Diana calls Nate's grandpa, William Archibald, who, I don't know if you remember a few seasons back, but they were pretty much like rivaling when his dad went to jail and they had all the beef.
Politician stuff going on.
Yes, because his grandpa really wants Nate to follow in the Archibald footsteps and Nate wants to be his own person. And so Diana was talking to the grandpa, and his grandpa basically was, thank you so much for getting my grandson back on the right path.
And a good radar.
Yeah. Like, I knew I could count on you kind of thing or something. You know, there's always that last tidbit that you're just like, oh my God.
Do we think that Diana actually has feelings for Nate then? Or is she just doing this because of the grandpa or what?
Oh, she's probably getting paid ridiculously. And
yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no feelings?
None.
I think she...
I think it's...
I mean, she's getting sex, which I'm sure it's great for her, but she's more of the.
I think she's crushing on him.
I think she'll have feelings for him after it's too late. You know what I mean? Like, I think after the fact, she'll realize, like, oh, he actually really cared. Like,
yeah.
But I think it's more about the money.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think I'll agree, you know, maybe there's some feeling there because I think that she really legitimately is jealous of Charlie.
Exactly. That's what makes me think
and maybe
that.
she didn't expect herself to get to that point, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But also she has to, like, set her priorities. And like Jesse said, it's about the money. And having that power status, because I'm sure, you know, behind the money, there's probably some promise of, you know, success or power or something that they always throw in there, you know?
No, 100%. It actually just made me think about how quickly relationships come and go on the show and how many there have been. And it's really funny because we have a host here at AfterBuzz who hosts Glee with me. And I'm making her catch up on the show so that she can come do it with us because she's so awesome and is like always so excited about things. So she started watching and she just made it through season 1 and she tweeted at me saying, please tell me that Dan and Serena end up together.
Oh.
And I'm like, girl,
what?
that was, first of all, that was so long ago. Second of all, like, I couldn't give 2 craps about that anymore, you know?
That was so, like,
I'm
2005.
And I'm like, there's another couple you will be rooting for if you are even remotely like me.
She probably isn't even at the point yet when Chuck and Blair are together.
That's what I said. I go, you don't even, it's going to be
She
a
has
complete
no
surprise.
idea.
And I'm like, you don't even know. Serena's about to be with Nate. She's with Dan. She's all over the place. She's with a teacher. You go through 10 more relationships with Serena, and then you ask me if she's going to be with Dan at the end. And maybe she will. Who freaking knows? It's some serious incest shit to me, but whatever.
Yes.
Okay, so other than that really confusing, complicated plot line, we can get to my favorite characters.
Well, wait, we forgot another important
don't do
part.
This to me.
One more part
What?
for Jesse's sake. So remember when Max looked up Serena because he told Charlie that he was seeing Serena.
Well, no, he looks up Gossip Girl. Oh, no.
No, he Googled her name
because
because she was like Serena Vanderwoodson. And he was like, yeah, you know her. And she's like, everyone in New York knows her. So her ex-boyfriend looks up Serena and gets the Gossip Girl link. And then it goes, the latest blog is that Charlie's off her meds and is about to commit suicide.
Yeah. It's like Serena's kooky cousin Charlie, watch out, like off her meds. Where is she going now?
Yeah. So Max is reading this. A, that she's supposedly Serena's cousin.
B, it's a picture of her. But with the name Charlie.
Yeah. B, that her name is Charlie instead of Ivy. And C, that she's crazy and going to kill herself. And then he just gets up. And that's like the end of that storyline. So you're kind of just like, I mean, for me, I was like,
you see me just
what?
trying to skip over that? I just I'm jumping forward so quickly. I mean, I don't really know. I don't know if Gossip Girl would ever take it to this point, but if I were this girl, that's what I would be contemplating doing. No joke, because like, where the hell is she gonna go from here?
Yeah.
What is she gonna do? I mean,
she herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz
I don't
TV
mean,
or its owners.
I don't mean she should be contemplating that. I'm saying like, oh my God, could life get worse?
Well, I mean, you know,
Which
last
means that
season
it does have to get better. That is true.
Last season, they played with the storyline of her being on medication and kind of going a little out of control when she was off her meds.
But
so
it was a joke.
It's interesting.
She wasn't really on the meds. She was only on them fake because she was being paid as the actress.
But maybe it'll come back to haunt her because now everyone that she wants to take her seriously is going to think that she is having some issues.
Yeah.
So, karma.
And she's going to have to take meds for crazy people, and she's not. So maybe that will make her crazy.
Go crazy.
But I think her secret's going to get found out because we see it in the very end.
I cannot wait. I just had to say that.
We see Elizabeth Hurley look at her and is like, sorry, it's too late. You're screwed. Your secret's coming out. Max is going to tell everybody. I'm putting on my poster. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any avoiding that. Although it's weird because we see Serena call Elizabeth Hurley and say, screw Gossip Girl. What she just did to my cousin's ridiculous. I'm in. So now I don't think Elizabeth Hurley is going to want to jeopardize having Serena as a writer. So I don't think she's going to want to post the blast about Charlie.
Which, by the way, can I just say, I think it's really weird that Serena is so invested in Charlie and so, like, emotionally attached to her. And I've never seen her like that towards anyone. Not even Blair, her best friend, or, you know.
Eric, her brother, though.
That's true. But
Where,
I don't know.
Where is he?
I have no idea.
With Lil J somewhere.
Yeah,
and
somewhere
Vanessa
with
in
Vanessa
Spain
and
or
Little J.
Something.
But I mean, you know, it's her cousin that she just met also. It's not a cousin that she grew up with that she's known to love, you know. Like, she just takes Charlie's word for everything against anyone and never questions whether it's wrong or right. And that's just a really weird scenario for me.
Well, I don't think she has any reason to question Charlie's. She doesn't think she does. I mean, because Charlie's never really screwed her over.
I mean, that's true, but there's been some sketchiness.
That's true. I agree.
With Charlie, she disappeared, and then, you know.
And the mad thing.
Yeah, so. Anyway,
can we talk
moving
about,
on.
Can
Let's
we talk about Chair now?
Yes, let's get to your favorite part of the night.
Okay.
Chair or Black?
Just like, squeeze something right now. You're going to cry. You don't want to hear this, but. So, basically.
Well, let's just say it was after last week's episode. I was so pumped to see this week's episode. I thought it was just going to be like an explosion of amazingness. And I was so let down. I'm sorry, Roxy.
I know.
I love Block as well, or Chair. But I don't know. I just, ugh.
Okay, what happens is basically Blair sets it out as her mission to prove that Chuck is still a bad person. Dorota catches on to this. Blair basically says the only way I'll ever be able to let Chuck go is if I know he is this bad person still. So she goes to the masquerade.
And let's just note that it's not just a hint of her wanting to find this side of Chuck. She becomes obsessed.
She's insisting.
With it. She's making charts like old Chuck versus new Chuck, and she's following him. She's stalking him on Gossip Girl. It's insane.
Obsessed. And then basically she goes to the party, the masquerade, and we don't know this, but Dorota texts Chuck being like, you need to make a move on Blair so that once and for all she can be done. But we don't know that. We don't see that. All we see is Blair and Chuck in a room, and she starts calling him out. And like
the masquerade ball.
At the masquerade ball, and she's trying to seduce him, and she's like, you could never resist red hots, like being all sexy and everything, and Chuck leans in to kiss her. They kiss for a second. It was hot as hell. Then she pulls away and slaps him and is like, how dare you? Now I know I made the right decision. They end up both going home. And then we see Chuck open a text from Dorota saying, thank you. So we know that she
Dorota is scheming now.
So Dorota the schemer.
She is hanging out with Blair for too long.
Yeah, she schemed to get into the party, too, with the aces thing. And she grabbed that woman's ace. I'm like, you go, Dorota.
She's making a name for herself these days.
You've got to admit how hot that kiss was, though.
Yes.
It, like, the full-on dip effect.
And it kind of tricked you as well because
I thought
it
she
took
was
a
into
little.
it.
I did too. I thought she was like. I was like, this is it. This is happening. The spark has flamed up. I don't know. Like, I thought she was really into it. It took a while for her to step back and slap him and whatever she said.
Yeah.
And so I kind of got a little excited for a split millisecond, but lo and behold. She continues to convince herself that she's over Chuck when she's not.
What do we think about Chuck doing this for Dorota and for Blair? What did it say about him?
That he's a good guy. That, you know,
he's a perfect guy.
He really is just trying to do his own thing, I think, and to move on, which I think he deserves, but especially because Blair just keeps reeling him in. And that whole seduction scene, like, first off, Blair did an amazing job. Like, she was so hot, like, doing that. But I'm sure that was so tough for him. That was so mean. You know? I don't know.
Yeah.
Poor Chuck. I mean, Chuck's had his days as well.
It's true. They both do, which is why they're perfect for each other.
I know.
I can't even talk about... I get the baby voice on when I talk about them because it makes me like a little kid. I'm so happy. I just don't want, like, I know when scenes like this happen, it means that we're not going to see them together again for a really long time.
I
Tell me
don't
I'm wrong.
think
Tell me
so.
I'm wrong.
I find that hard to believe. I don't think we will ever not see them together.
Okay.
And once Louis gets back, we're just going to stir up some more drama and we'll be back on track.
And we have a little news and gossip about that this week, about their future together, Blair and Chuck's.
Let's have at it.
Yeah, we can cut to a commercial and then we can hear the exciting or not so exciting news and gossip.
I'm excited.
The biggest new media platform on the web just got bigger. More bandwidth, smoother streaming, lightning fast download.
Don't get technical with me.
AfterBuzz TV is making the jump to hyperspace. Join the fun at your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Look at the size of that thing.
AfterBuzz TV.
Episode.
And what was that? Okay, and go into the news and gossip. Oh, I learned last time that Jesse likes to be introduced, but not my DJ voice. So there you go. Can I do a drum roll?
I would love it, Joe.
Drum roll, please.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, so Lauren Conrad has moved on from Derek
Huff.
What? That doesn't even look like the word Huff. But thank you. And is now hooking up with Chase Crawford? According to US Weekly, Lauren was caught making out with Chase on October 29th. This is news that should have come out a lot sooner. A source said there's always been an attraction between them, but Lauren is just enjoying herself. She's not taking anything too seriously. Clearly, because Roxy, weren't we just talking about?
How ridiculous is this? So I'm researching news and gossip for Glee, and she just hooked up with Finn on Glee, and I'm researching news and gossip for Gossip Girl, and she's hooking up with Chase Crawford. So you go, Lauren Conrad, you big whore.
Lauren Conrad is my girl crush. I absolutely love her, and I don't know.
What a weird girl crush.
I love her. I was obsessed with The Hills and Laguna Beach.
You were? See, I just wasn't into it. I just even yawned while I said that.
And I think she has, like, great style.
Yeah, she does. I don't dislike her, but, like, I think she's a little bland.
But either way, I think she's a little mature for...
random hookups in public with celebrities.
Bar hookups, like, what's going on here?
I mean, you know,
Chase
you're in the
Crawford.
spotlight.
Like, first of all,
okay.
Finn,
Point
really,
taken.
like that. I'm like a Glee character.
Yeah.
But Chase Crawford, I'd be like, yeah, girl, like, get it, girl.
I mean, I feel bad for Chase that he let Carrie Underwood slip through his fingers. So
That's a cute couple.
Yeah.
I would be scared about what she would do with me after the song she's written.
Right.
I'm hiding my car.
Seriously.
What else you got for us, Jess?
So, what does Ed Westwick think about Chuck and Blair's future? Hold on to your tissues, chair fans. It sounds like he might not be so sure. At last week's J. Edgar premiere, Ed Westwick offered some troubling insight. I don't even know what I hope for them personally. So much change and drama has been thrown around these days. In some ways, they are perfect for each other, and it seems like destiny. But in other ways, I don't know if they can overcome all the terrible things they have done. Roxy, what do you think?
Oh, well, I have to comment on
He's
something.
not believing anymore.
First, I have to comment on the fact that how annoying would it be if you were at a movie premiere that you were in and somebody was talking to you about Gossip Girl?
I just started a film with Leonardo DiCaprio, directed by Clint Eastwood, and you're asking me about Chuck?
But I have to say, if I was interviewing him, if I was talking to him on the red carpet, I would have to ask him the same thing. And if he said that to me, I would start crying because... he doesn't just say, I don't know what's going to happen. He says he doesn't know what he wants to happen. What do you mean? What do you mean, Ed Westwick? You're not the biggest Cher fan ever?
I don't know. It sounds like Cher has given up on Cher.
Okay, I'm looking for... No, next week, Blair... Okay, no. Leighton Meester's coming out, and she's saying that she disagrees, and there's going to be controversy, and then they're going to get together, and it will be fine. It will be fine.
If that's what makes you feel better.
Yeah, don't even. Okay,
and that's our news and gossip. No. So Elizabeth Hurley has admitted she used to look frightening when she was 18. She went through a rebellious stage in her late teens and got a nose ring, had spiky pink hair. She told the Sun newspaper, "I moved to London when I was 18 and stayed in a hideous bedsit in Finsbury Park."
A bedsit? Is that like a
probably some London
studio
a flat,
or something?
a bedsit,
a flat.
I did not know it was a dodgy area at the time. Besides, I probably looked so frightening myself, no one came near me. I'm sure that everyone does these silly rebellious things from time to time. It was just mine had gone on a little too long. It was probably good for me. I've not worried too much about fitting in ever since.
Can you picture Elizabeth Hurley with pink spiky hair?
Not at all.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I guess
sure
we
she
all
made
have...
it look hot.
Yeah,
I know. Somehow she worked it.
Like, can we get pictures of this somehow?
Seriously.
We'll have to try and find them.
Let's,
for sure.
Yeah. But, you know.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
All right, so Gossip Girl's 100th episode, Royal Wedding Spectacular, airs next year, and we've got the first glimpse of the woman of the hour in photos taken on the New York City set at night. Earlier this week, Blair looked positively radiant in her wedding gown, but that's not the whole story. The story here is that Blair appears to be running out into the street and leaving alone. Is it a dream sequence? Always possible in Gossip Girl, or is it the end of an engagement?
Boom! She loves Chuck. That's what just happened.
OMG.
She better run out of that wedding, and she. Oh my! You know
well,
what?
Didn't we
Maybe Chuck gets up and says, I like when they say, "Does anybody object to this wedding?" He says yes, but she says, "I can't do this right now with either of you," and runs out and needs to be alone, and then decides she loves Chuck.
Or maybe he doesn't say anything, but she wants him to so badly.
That would work too. I'm okay with that.
Or what if it's like a friend situation where she calls Louis Chuck? Like, I, Blair, take you, Chuck.
Oh my God.
If that happened.
Oh my God. That was like the craziest.
That was
with the Emily Rachel.
Yes.
Oh my God. I mean, that was
Wouldn't that be amazing? I should write these.
That would be amazing, but I don't think
that would be show stealing for sure, but amazing.
Yeah.
That would be epic.
Epic.
Yes.
Epic.
To say the least.
We need to save this crap for predictions. Keep going.
Spotted Georgina Sparks. Oops, excuse me. Georgina Sparks creeping on the set of Gossip Girl. What exactly she's up to, we don't know yet, but there was a picture of Georgina as the altar girl. And now there are shots of her looking less than thrilled about the upcoming royal wedding. Looking closely at the photos, you see Blair and Louis on the cover of the New York Post. You'll also see baby Milo pushed by a man whose identity we're not sure of. How far will Georgina go to insert herself into the wedding? And to what
Very
end?
far.
That's one secret we'll never tell.
Please don't tell me Georgina is coming back. I thought we got rid of her.
You don't like her?
I
like her for the show. I will stand by that one.
For the show,
she's a good enemy on the show.
She definitely stirs it up. But I think, we talked about this a few weeks ago, but I think the original, the OG cast stirs up enough.
That's why I like her, because she's original. I mean,
not from day one.
Not from day one, but then again, Blair and Chuck are
and
in a
the
couple
whole
from
Milo
day one,
thing was just weird.
And saying it was Dan's, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder who the guy she's with is.
Yeah, but she did come back for a little bit last season.
Yeah, and
I mean,
she was in
comes
that
back
wilderness
every season.
rehab thing for a while.
Yeah, she's had so many different storylines. It's hard to keep up. She was like a Jesus lover for a while.
Yeah,
and then
whatever. I'm okay with that as long as it's an episode or two.
They should bring back Georgina and get rid of Charlie. Yes.
Everybody should be back for the wedding episode. Even though I don't like them, really, it should be Eric and Lil J and Vanessa and the whole gang. They all should be there.
Bart, just kidding.
And before I said, where has Eric been? And you know what I realized? Well, not Eric, but the actor is on Revenge now, and I found out.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, I saw him on it last night.
Is he done though with Gossip Girl?
I don't know.
I mean, his character wasn't
I'm gonna
the
have to
most
go back
relevant,
and watch what happened.
But I don't think it was ever part of the storyline. Like, we all knew that Jenny and Vanessa weren't coming back, but it was never announced that Eric wasn't coming back. So
it should just be like in soap operas where they kill off characters that they don't want on anymore, and then if they want them back on, they just say that the character came back to life.
Yeah. And did he start the season?
Dramatic.
He started. I don't know.
I
don't know what
even
I'm talking
remember.
about.
We're gonna
I
go
can't
back
remember.
and
Yeah.
watch. Okay.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so we see the wedding shower. Any predictions for what happens there? Is Dan trying to
Wait,
crash
did we
the
have
party?
in Gossip News last week something about a bachelorette party too as well? I don't know.
I don't.
You know, I just think everything's going downhill with Blair and Louis. Earlier in the episode, Blair, I think she was talking to Dorota, and they were talking about Louis and his little fiasco last week.
Yeah.
And she said, I already forgave Louis. And that was so quick. And Blair never forgives people quickly. Like the people that she cares about that hurt her,
it's she like just because he's a prince
holds that grudge forever. So there's not. You're right. It's just the prince thing. There's nothing else there.
Yeah.
And I think the more that Chuck, the less interest that Chuck shows, the more Blair is going to go stir crazy, and it's just going to start unraveling.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, what else did we see? The cops coming?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the previews were kind of weird. Everyone just kept saying, oh my God, and gasping. Didn't really tell.
I couldn't tell what the hell was going on.
I had no idea what was going on.
We're not coming back next week, are we?
We're not going to be here next week.
We're going to be eating turkey.
It's
They
Thanksgiving.
will be calling in, though, because
Yes.
it is an episode.
I will be on the road on Highway 5 driving to the Bay Area. I have 6 hours to kill, so I will
be
call
calling in too, and I will be. You better believe I'm glued to the TV, like praying that what I want to come true most comes true.
Maybe not next week, but
It could happen.
true. Maybe it'll be the start of something beautiful.
Thank you. Stay positive. Jeez.
Optimism is
Okay,
key.
any predictions, guys? Any other predictions for the show? Where is this going? No, nothing. We weren't given much.
Well, I mean,
With Dan,
you
what
know,
about Dan?
I don't know. I mean, Dan was so weird
Bland,
today.
weird.
But obviously the whole thing with Charlie is going to start spilling out, and I think that's going to be a major focus point for the next few episodes.
Yeah.
Alongside Blair's upcoming wedding and that whole thing. Although I did notice that Blair still isn't looking pregnant at all, which I thought was kind of weird. But that's a whole nother topic.
What about Serena and her blog?
She just needs to decide. Is she going to do it or is she not? She's gone back and forth with it. Obviously, you know, now she decided she wants to do it. And it'll be interesting to see what hoops she has to go through to get people to read it.
You know what I wish they did? I wish that the actors and actresses, it would be really freaking annoying for them, but that they had a Gossip Girl, like, and they all we got blasts about what the actors were doing, like, spotted Leighton Meester,
Yeah.
you know, like something like that, because I love them so much.
I think that Serena eventually is going to flip the switch and start being the evil Gossip Girl-esque type that just calls people out and starts rumors and spreads the gossip and just, you know, makes people feel bad about themselves.
I hope not, but maybe. Actually, it might give her a little more edge than just like bland.
She might go back to her old ways.
Start sleeping with the prince or something.
Yeah.
Stealing Chuck.
Serena Woodson. Everyone knows her in New York.
That is true. Maybe she was the evil right in front of the eyes.
You never know.
Guess you don't know.
Guess we'll have to wait and see.
I think that's all we've got for predictions, but we will be calling in next week, as Jesse said. You're going to have to be running the show, though, Jesse, so you better freaking watch it. And you will, I know.
I got you guys.
Awesome. Okay, but we will be here all together in 2 weeks, and we will be watching and waiting every single second for Chuck and Blair to be together. Okay, happy Thanksgiving to everybody early.
Eat so much food. It's going to be great.
Eat so much food that you look more pregnant than Blair.
That you need to lay down for a few days.
XOXO.
XOXO.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.